G'day. Well, while I've been at school studying marine engineering, I've been staring out my classroom window at this beautiful submarine sitting on the slip. It's a retired Australian Navy Oberon class submarine. I've been on board one of these before when it was operational and fully crewed. It was a very, very long time ago. So I'm keen to come back and have another look at one that's up on the slip. So getting into these submarines is actually pretty tricky. They've rigged up the forward torpedo hatch with a little gangway so we can get in. I'm so excited. I absolutely love submarines. I'm really grateful that I get to go aboard and have a look around. This is the torpedo room with the torpedo tubes up the front. It's really cramped in here, like an alien environment. It feels kind of like we're on a spaceship. Unbelievably, people would live and sleep in this tiny compartment, sleeping on top of these giant torpedoes. Look at the size of these bloody things. The torpedo room's also an escape chamber, so you could open it, equalise the pressure, open a hatch and swim out of this compartment. Probably wouldn't have been a lot of fun trying to do that. Working our way back through the bulkhead into probably the most comfortable part of the boat. This is the forward accommodation compartment. 18 6-foot bunks racked on top of each other. Even has an old school TV in here. Looks like the submarine uses an oxygen candle just in that cylinder there. When I was young, this was one of the careers I was very strongly considering. A submarine deck officer. I ended up going into the army, but yeah, probably be a different person if I did this for a living as my first job. This is the senior sailors' mess. People always say how bad accommodation is on submarines, but to be honest, I've slept in worse on boats. This is the pantry, galley, and the garbage disposal area. This is the garbage chute. It's like a mini torpedo tube. And the pantry is on the lower deck, sandwiched between all the big batteries down there. So that was the accommodation area. Now we're moving through the bulkhead into the control room. The front section of the control compartment contains officer accommodation and the wardroom. Submarines are notoriously uncomfortable, but there's more space in here than I expected. Just after the wardroom is the actual control room itself. This is the nerve center of the vessel. This is the torpedo targeting and firing system. Sonar station's tucked away in that corner. We have the navigation systems on the boat. This is the depth sounder. Chart and plotting table. The helm, where a sailor steers the boat. The control column here will control the rudder and the hydrophones, and the submarine is purely controlled on instruments. Further aft in the control room, you have all the buoyancy control valves. So these control the ballast tanks on the air systems, the pneumatic systems of the vessel. It's hard to film in here because there's just no space at all. Directly above the control room is the sail, which contains all the masts, and this is the access way to the sail. And this is the periscope station. This is the lighting that they used so night vision doesn't get affected. The control room is incredibly tight. There's a lot of equipment in here, a lot of stations, and there's just no space. The submarine is actually 2 stories high, and there are some access ways to get down into the lower deck. Mostly contains the batteries, but it's also used as the storage area. Right in the control room is the captain's cabin, and the heads, the ship's toilets. The radio room is jammed back here as well. The corridor after the control room is just jammed full of these stalks, these scopes which slide up and down through the sail. leaving not much room to move. This submarine was operating before the digital age, so everything on board is analog. Right at the stern of the control compartment is a film processing room, so they could take photos through the periscope when they're spying on various things and process the images. The next compartment is the generator room. This is a diesel-electric submarine, so it uses the generators to charge the batteries, and the propulsion then runs off the batteries. The submarine is fitted with a snorkel, so it can run underwater, sucking air through, running the generators to charge the batteries, and when it wants to go deeper, it can shut off these generators, drop the snorkel, dive deeper, and run off the batteries for a few days. Because I'm currently studying marine engineering, and in particular learning about marine diesel engines, I'm finding this room very interesting. I imagine doing maintenance on these engines would have been a nightmare. There are only small hatches going in and out of the submarine, and you can't open it up, so there's no way to pull these engine blocks out and actually work on them. So continuing to work our way aft, we go into the next compartment, which is the motor room. The Oberon class submarine is an diesel-electric submarine and is powered by electric motors. The motors themselves are on the lower deck, so they're pretty hard to see, but most of the room is like a giant electrical substation. Here the vessel's electrician controls the movement of power between the generators, the batteries and the electric motors. The aftmost compartment is the stern torpedo room. It's also an escape room, so you can escape from the submarine from there, and it also has a torpedo loading hatch. So yeah, that was very interesting. I'm very happy that I got to go and have a look in one of these old Oberon submarines. Brought back a lot of memories. Like I said, I'd been on one of these when I was young, when it was operational. And this submarine is located in Fremantle, and you can potentially go aboard it. You need to inquire at the Fremantle Maritime Museum. If you enjoy this kind of positive adventure content, please like, subscribe, and check out a few of these other adventures.